Paddington, one of London's grandest stations. Designed and built by the great engineer Isambard Kingdom Brunel, it opened its gates in the steamy days of 1854. It's the London terminus of the Great Western Railway. Today, this iconic station, along with its famous furry resident, welcomes and dispatches nearly 40 million passengers a year.
Platform 4 at 12:32.
Key to keeping this major transport hub running as smoothly as possible are 300 staff based at the station.
I do enjoy it, actually, most of the time.
I'm here, yes. And I'll make sure they get on the train. Yeehaw.
And a team of 50 at the Route Control Centre in Swindon, overseeing a complex network of rails, bridges and stations. In charge today is Neil Latham.
We're running far more trains than we did. We're using the infrastructure to almost its full capacity. So when something happens, the impact it just explodes across the network.
It's early morning, just short of Midsummer's Day, and on duty is shift station manager Simon Butler.
And it's just the Bakerloo line platforms that are overcrowded.
Simon first came to work here in 2011.
I was interviewed upstairs and they'd said to me, can you give us an instance when you were involved in an emergency? So I said, well, when I was in the Navy, the ship I was on was hit by an Exocet missile. And in fact, it was the only ship ever to survive an Exocet missile hit. And he sort of went, oh, that should do.
As the temperatures rise towards the 30s, Simon is still no stranger to fighting fires.
The Bakerloo line's overcrowded, so they've got like a certain amount of people, a number that they can allow onto the platforms before it becomes dangerous. So they just close the gate and leave us to manage it.
Hang on here. Control and Paddington.
Up in Paddington's control room, station control assistants Richard and Graham are also up against it.
So once again, passengers on the main concourse, we do apologise. London Underground have shut their gates due to overcrowding. Since I've only been here 35 minutes, it's going pretty bad.
The Underground is the least of their worries. Major morning disruption is building overground.
Hey, Heathrow.
One of the fast main lines into the station has been blocked by a broken down train, and high-speed services have now been forced to switch to a low-speed commuter track.
What's happened is a Heathrow Express came to a halt. Yeah, go ahead. Came to a halt just outside Acton Main Line with smoking brakes.
1 Romeo 01, 22 down due to late arrival.
Yeah, copy that. 22 down, late arrival. Thank you very much. So everything is arriving horrendously late. This is now causing quite a bit of congestion. And at this time of morning, this is the middle of the peak, so it couldn't probably happen at the worst time, really.
Trains which are arriving late into Paddington are now leaving the station late. And with the heat building, late arrivals and late departures could cause problems further down the line and later in the day.
If we've got problems further down the line, it's like a domino effect. And it affects the next train, and the following train. And we try our best to minimise the impact, but unfortunately, that's all we can do at the moment.
At Route Control, they're trying to get Paddington's morning rush hour back on track. But there's a greater challenge looming.
Tim, that's your heat watchman down on Crink Road.
They're predicting the hottest summer temperatures in 40 years.
We're 4.2 degrees ahead of where we were yesterday currently. And it's 52 for the blanket 20 to Ladbroke Grove to Paddington. Our rail temperature has risen 2 degrees in the past 30 minutes. So as the sun gets hotter, higher in the sky, the track expands, so we reduce the load impact on it. And we'll put a speed restriction on, hopefully. That will prevent any buckling, etc.
Speed restrictions will protect the track and allow trains to run safely, but they will harm the timetable.
Get one of the train running controllers to speak to pad base and just say there might be some disruption if we put the blanket on. At this point, we're planning for the worst and hoping for the best.
But there are already heat-related delays building up at stops all along the line, including Bristol Temple Meads, 120 miles from Paddington.
Chaos.
Yeah, but then I got to go to Cheltenham, then to Gloucester, then to Strike.
Yeah, trust me, today, because there's so many cancellations, get yourself on.
Sincere apologies on behalf of Great Western Railway for the delay and inconvenience being caused. How many times can you say that in one shift?
It's a major hub on the route to and from London, and speed restrictions and track damage are delaying services to the capital.
The trains themselves are failing. The 1980s trains, British engineering, that's all I can say.
The platform is filling up with delayed passengers. On hand to pass on information and cool overheated nerves is customer ambassador Jake.
I think the heat has got to a lot of trains, and a few of them are just phasing out entirely as a result. Other delays are just congestion as a result of failing trains trailing on behind, now running a little bit late as well.
And the heat has started taking its toll on the infrastructure. Station manager Liam is working hard to keep his magnificent but aging station functioning efficiently.
The slabs on the side of the platform today with the heat, it's built up, the cement has expanded, and they've literally just popped up. So we had it on platform 11, sorted that, and then on platform 9 there was a bit of movement, so we had to close those two platforms. We've now had to close platform 7, and we have to get engineers out to come and make sure that it's still clear so trains can run in and out without catching the edge of the platform. I don't think we realise how much the hot weather takes it out on the railway. We've got Victorian infrastructure. We're not built for this temperature in the UK.
With the Western network operating at near full capacity, the disruption in Bristol is now rippling down the line back towards Paddington.
Essentially, everything here and everything here has now come to a stop.
At Paddington, the hot weather problems all along the line have made it almost impossible for controllers to recover the timetable after the early morning blockage, limiting services in and out of the station.
Acton West in either direction.
It's just a few hours until the Paddington rush hour, and controller Richard has just been told that trains have come to a stop.
We've now just been advised that there is a hold on Acton West. So essentially all these high-speed trains, some of them were left here late anyway, have now come to a stand at Acton West.
We have an obstruction on the line.
So essentially both down main and relief line have now come to a stand. So nothing can get out of here now.
Obstruction on the line.
Richard and Graham have no idea what's causing the blockage.
When it's an obstruction on the line, it's not usually a person, it's usually a thing. For example, someone's thrown a shopping trolley over a bridge, something like that, you know, something that's in the way for a train to get through.
At the moment, we've got trains trapped on the up relief, down relief.
But at route control, they do know what's happened.
Yeah, we've got one just coming up via Southall now on the up main.
And even for these seasoned veterans of the railway, it's a first.
We've had a member of station staff report in what appears to have been a flashover on the overhead line, possibly caused by a pigeon.
We've just actually moved a train now, so they must be examining the line.
Which is, by the sounds, been electrocuted and then shot up at such a rate that it's hit the under part of one of our bridges, which goes over all 4 lines at West Ealing, taken out a chunk of concrete from the under part of the bridge.
It's on the relief side, isn't it, where it's come down?
Basically, a pigeon got electrocuted. Is that what you're saying?
In a nutshell. But he hasn't complained, which is the best thing.
We have an obstruction on the line.
Following a morning of delays and rising temperatures, this is the last thing Paddington needs.
So soon our screens will be blank. Only services which are confirmed as running will be shown on those screens.
It's a bit tragic, all this has been to be caused by a pigeon.
The incident has happened at a critical point on the line at Ealing, just 9 miles from Paddington.
It's the busiest section, it couldn't have happened at a worse place.
The lines affected form the gateway into and out of the station.
It's between Heathrow and Paddington Station. It's 4 tracks into London. You have the every quarter of an hour Heathrow service to and from Heathrow from Paddington, 8 trains an hour, plus Great Western's main line trains and their suburban trains as well.
All trains into the capital have come to a halt.
Nothing can leave Heathrow, nothing can leave Paddington, nothing can leave Reading, because there's no point sending it down because they'll just end up sitting on the tracks.
Network Rail Incident Controller Bob Howard now has smartphone photos and video of the damage. Caused, it seems, by an electrical arc triggered by the Pigeon flying into an overhead line.
This is the down relief line, and that is the bit that's fallen down onto the track.
A mobile operations manager is sent to investigate whether any further concrete is likely to fall from the bridge onto the tracks. Until safety checks are completed, trains can't run.
What we're currently doing at the moment, we're just examining the line to make sure that the structure is safe for trains to run over and also to run under the structure. But it's caused a significant amount of disruption to our customers at Paddington. It's going to turn into a massive incident.
Need to put that into words without going catastrophically mental. And this is as bad as it gets.
Yeah,
essentially,
is it there?
for want of a better word, the railway is closed.
There are places, though, on the network that have to keep going, even when the rest of the railway has come to a standstill.
What you want to do, Chubbs?
Do you want to swap, Chubbs?
At the Reading Maintenance Depot, a Class 166 diesel commuter train has just come in for a new gearbox.
Bit of a spaghetti western down there.
The team have less than half a day to complete the work, in time for the train to service the evening rush hour.
Got a washer stuck in there. They tend to put me in the heavy lifting shed, because I'm a bit,
Ian has worked here for 17 years and is one of a 3-man team assigned to the task.
4 jacks. You're going to have one in each corner. So we'll be lifting, what, 40 tons today? Couldn't lift it by hand. Yes, mate? What's up?
Murray is trying to get to the worn-out gearbox. He spent his career working with big machines.
I did 22 years in the Royal Air Force before I started here. There's quite a few guys that actually work on the depot that are ex-forces. It's all heavy engineering. The principles are all the same. You just have to learn the railway terminology and the slight variances in engineering practices that the railway has.
On a 166 like this, the transmission is changed every 500,000 miles.
Main exhaust pipe, just a bigger version of what you'll have on your car. We have to take that out of the way so that when we lower the transmission out, it's not in the way of us.
They've got to the gearbox. Now the train is ready to be jacked up.
Clear, ready? Okay.
Yeah, very clever bit of kit. It all stays in grade A11. Then 5 mil.
The team have now got 4 hours to replace the gearbox and get the train safely out on time. At Paddington, rush hour is fast approaching, and tempers along with the temperatures are rising.
To be quite frank with you, I don't know what's going on today.
Yeah, there's no trains at the moment running. No trains.
Services have come to a standstill. A Pigeon has triggered an electrical arc, causing concrete to fall from a bridge onto the track at Ealing, just 9 miles away.
I was downstairs about 20 minutes ago, and there are quite a lot of angry patients at the Paddington station, and I would be angry. I would be very angry.
So go back to the concourse space and wait for another service or another announcement for different service. Sorry.
With no services in or out of Paddington, Ben is having to deal with a lot of hot and stranded passengers.
And it's very hot here as well. But the further down is a bit cool and concourse. It's easier for customers. When it's getting too hot, then the customers just start complaining non-stop.
He's got a metre square, which you think is a loose concrete above the railway.
Route Control Manager Neil Latham has received a damage report from the Mobile Operations Manager, or MOM, in Ealing.
Well, yeah, this is cool, isn't it? And if he could see cracks.
And there's still no good news.
The mom's on site and he's reported that there's cracks in the structure. Looks like there's a metre square of concrete which is loose. So the vibration of a train could bring it down. If a train's travelling under that and that falls through the windscreen, that will hurt the driver, if not kill them. But the mom's got another person with him and they've both looked at it and they said if we run at a reduced speed underneath it, 20 miles an hour, they'll monitor it after every train.
It's been an hour since the Pigeon triggered an electrical arc, bringing down concrete from the bridge. 2 of the 4 tracks heading towards Paddington remain closed.
It's been the hottest day of the year. It's the last thing we wanted.
And speed restrictions imposed because of the ever-increasing temperatures will mean further delays.
Our rail temperature, as opposed to our temperature, is going up at 2 degrees every 30 minutes at the moment. When it gets to 50, which what we're expecting in the next hour or so, that's when the speed restrictions will be triggered. So we're going to have to focus really hard on getting the railway back for 1600 for our customers.
But at Paddington, there's relief that trains are at least moving again.
Special announcement to all passengers and also staff here at Paddington Station. Things are looking a little bit better. Quite soon you'll see a few trains on the departure screens.
They're starting to board the Swansea on platform 1 now, so that should move a lot of customers. So hopefully soon, normal working.
Back at the Reading depot, engineers are rushing to complete an urgent gearbox change. The Class 166 commuter train must be out again in just 3 hours, ready to service the evening peak.
What we're doing here, this is a 15-ton crane, and what we're going to do is lift that table onto the rails. That'll just slide underneath, so then we unbolt the transmission, and then it'll sit on that plate there, and then it'll just roll out on the rails. So that's what we do. These guys here just wheeled the table in. What we're going to do is lift the table up, support the transmission, and then we're going to unbolt it, and then we'll let the table down so it can just be wheeled out.
It's a tricky operation, especially with a 40-ton train hanging in the air above them.
We're ready now to lower the transmission down.
Nothing is wasted. The transmission will go back to the manufacturer to be refurbished for use on another train.
That lasts a long time, really. We normally get about 4 years out of an engine and transmission before they go back for overhaul.
Right, well, we have to get 3 torque wrenches set up.
There are now just 2 hours left to fit the new gearbox. Failure to hit the deadline is not an option for production manager Alex.
Put some stuff on? Oh, yeah, I'm already lubed up on it.
It does always amaze me at how quickly they can get some of these jobs done. After all, if you tried doing the same on a car, it'd probably take you a little bit longer.
Job done. It's taken just 4 hours to swap one of the train's largest and most important components. All that remains now is to test it. Reattach it to its carriages, and it's ready to go back into normal service. Except at Paddington today, service has been anything but normal.
We have a train for you, we're just confirming crew.
Heat-stressed infrastructure and the Pigeon strike in Ealing have created significant delays.
Base 2 Bravo radios coming in now on platform 1. I don't know if you guys have the compensation forms, possibly. That's arriving 127 minutes late.
What's going on with this train?
We're still waiting to drive off this one. After very
The driver is coming?
I hope so.
And now there's a new challenge. Because of disruption, some drivers for trains waiting to leave Paddington are stranded elsewhere.
This train waiting driver. Earlier on we had...
It's already late 2 minutes. Where's the announcement then?
Passengers on platform 3. There appears to be no driver for this train. We do apologise. You're advised to return to the station concourse.
Paddington Station is heading towards a hot and sticky rush hour, with severe disruption to services.
It's not actually up yet.
But it is going to...
It will run, but it's going to be delayed, okay? So just keep an eye on the boards and it will show shortly, okay?
All day, the heat has caused speed restrictions, and trains came to a halt for over an hour when an electrocuted pigeon caused damage to the main line. And now there's a fresh problem taking hold.
The issue that we've got is we're now getting trains in, but you've got drivers and guards and train managers who need breaks, who are so late getting in. Some of them are over an hour late, so we can't just sort of say, right, okay, that's now going to fall down and go out. So we're just having to try and manage the resources as best as we can at the moment.
Train crew breaks are required by law, and many drivers and guards who should be at Paddington are stranded on delayed services way down the line.
Any updates, I'm sorry, but any updates on Platform 5 yet?
On Platform 5, dispatcher Maz has a train full of passengers for the 15:36 to Cheltenham via Swindon. But it's 10 minutes past departure time, and there's no driver in sight.
We've got a train manager number 2, but we can't train some passengers. Not surprised to number 2.
Staff announcement for driver. Please make your way to platform 5. Driver, please make your way to platform 5.
In the control room, Graham wants to move the Swindon passengers onto a train he thinks is ready to leave.
Base to Bravo radios. Obviously, if we've got no crew for number 5, you may want to move some Swindon people to platform 2, assuming you've got crew for the 15:30.
But that train is not ready either.
This is Bravo 2. The driver for platform 2 has only just been told he's needed. He's going to get a diagram, then he'll be out.
And now there's an issue developing with air conditioning units on some of the trains.
Aircon is effective, yeah?
Maintenance engineer Ollie has worked at Paddington for 40 years.
There's no driver I'll have time to change the filter.
With temperatures hitting the 30s and the train's engines pushing them even higher in the cab, it's just as important for the driver to be cooled as the passengers.
Coolant seems all right there now, yeah?
Problem solved. And a driver's available now too.
Cool enough, change the filter. Yeah.
But for health and safety reasons, this train cannot go anywhere until the cab has cooled down to 27.5 degrees.
So this is showing you the delayed minutes of these trains. So we've got 79 minutes late, 47 minutes late, 67 late, 1 late, that's a plus, 67 late, 42 late, 52 late, 44 late, 26 late. It's going to be difficult to try and build the system back, getting the service back into a manageable system.
The line towards Bedminster, what sort of age are these people?
At route control, incident controller Jason Haynes is responding to a call from the British Transport Police about 2 young men trespassing on the line outside Bristol Temple Meads.
Oh right, so you've got a trace of them then?
It's a very busy part of the network. Any additional disruption here could also affect Paddington, 120 miles away.
Heading down the track towards Temple Meads.
BTP officers Dan Hunt and Cliff Parker are racing to the scene.
They had jumped out of a car that Avon Somerset were trying to stop. Avon Somerset have located one of them and arrested them, and the second one has been seen on the tracks between Bedminster and Temple Meads. This is St Philip's Marsh depot. It's one of the bigger depots in sort of the Bristol area. And it's just down the road from the branch line where the suspect was last seen.
Fortunately for Dan and Cliff, they're heading into quiet sidings.
Going that way because those wires might be live. Right?
A police helicopter has also been called in to join the search.
Oh, here's the helicopter. Here's impasse.
Stand by for it.
You're directly above us now. There's a suggestion the person came over this railway bridge. Is it possible to concentrate on the undergrowth below me? I'm indicating now.
Yeah, that's it for you. We're giving that a look now as we speak.
Okay, do we think these males are at risk at all, or...?
No one knows for sure why the men were on the line, but there's been a big problem with theft of precious copper cable from the railway.
There is a severe safety issue that people don't realise. They may make a few pounds from the copper cable, but at the same time they're risking their own lives.
In Bristol, as the police helicopter above scours the area, Cliff receives worrying news about the man they're hunting.
He fell probably 20, 30 foot onto probably a bit of railway, so he's not going to be feeling brilliant.
2 other officers were just meters away from catching him before he jumped.
Tom leapt over the fence, right, to where he was, but he then fell.
So the suggestion is he's not injured, or he might have turned an ankle, but he's got up,
stood up and
run off. Yeah, yeah.
It looks as if the suspect has got away, for now. At Bristol Temple Meads station, officers are hot on the heels of some other suspected offenders.
They were all doing the drugs in the toilet.
What did you actually witness when you say doing drugs?
So they were all like fairly fine, going in the toilet with this blue bag.
Yeah.
And they were coming out and they literally were bouncing on the aisle.
One of the youths is still on the platform. The 17-year-old seems happy to help the police with their inquiries.
The report is that you have taken turns going to the toilet, and then when you've come out, you've been acting in a manner that suggests that you've taken some sort of substance. You're under the influence of substance.
My mate was drunk.
Your eyes are...
I got hay fever.
Okay, all right. Have you got medication for that?
I left it at the college. I can do a drug test if you want.
The officers think he's hiding something and decide to carry out a search for drugs.
Right, so I'm looking for any controlled substance.
The body search reveals nothing.
Anything in there? Should be aware of.
But there's more in the bag than the officers were expecting. At route control, Neil and his team are trying to restore the timetable into and out of Paddington in time for the evening peak.
We need to come up with a plan to try and recover the service. Not only are we dealing with mass disruption from the bridge, we've got the added issue of the heat speeds as well.
The record summer heat and a pigeon strike which caused electrical arcing on a railway bridge outside Paddington has caused problems all along the line.
So if we plan to get as many right time starts out of pad as we can and concentrate on that.
Damn difficult.
Yeah.
We've got drivers who should be in pad who are still at Oxford.
With drivers still displaced by the disruption, Neil's assessment of the next few hours is bleak.
The evening peak is looking like it's going to be an absolute mess, which is where we didn't want to be. So work out what the best plan is, really.
Paddington is limping towards the evening peak, with only 20% of normal service. The platforms are full of trains, but there are still very few drivers and crew, as the day's disruption has left them displaced or delayed.
But we've got severe displacement and crews out of sync, so we'll advertise what we can. We are trying to do our best to resume a normal service.
On platform 5, a driver for the long-delayed 1536 Cheltenham service is now available.
Are you the driver for this train? Yeah, mate, I was prepared for you, right?
But now another crew member is missing.
We've got a train driver, so we've got half the job. We're just waiting for the train manager now. Hopefully not too long.
Special announcement, passengers.
In the control room, Graham announces the train is ready to leave. But he hasn't realised they don't have the full crew.
A couple of times that you have a driver and you have a train manager on platform 5. Can you actually confirm what we definitely have right now?
We've got a train driver, but I haven't seen the train manager myself.
No train manager number 5, understood.
Customers been sat in the train for half an hour, and it's very hot in the train as well.
I've told passengers on like 4 occasions that this train's now ready to leave because we've been told that everyone's there ready to go, but they've now said that that's not the case.
Minutes later, the train manager, delayed on an incoming train, arrives. The 1536 to Cheltenham is 30 minutes late, but it's on its way. At Bristol Temple Meads, BTP officers have been searching the bag of a young man suspected of carrying drugs. but they found something else altogether.
They are around, like, so fake, things like cousin.
I don't think you're allowed to have the brass fittings for them. How are you?
They're fake.
Fake in what way?
They look.
They've found what appears to be live ammunition, and the young man keeps changing his story about it.
That's a blank, isn't it? That's a blank round.
I bought it from the shop.
You can't buy blank rounds from a shop. Not a chance.
I'm not lying with them.
But then he makes a startling admission. He says he's a young army cadet.
When you do your firing on the ranges, what do they say to you? You have to do a declaration that you're not allowed brass casings, ammunition, or explosive.
What was a routine search for drugs is turning into something much more serious.
Our police officer's on platform 3. We're going to take you and your stuff.
Okay.
Over there, okay?
He's not allowed to take anything off the range. He's asked before he starts. He's asked when he's finished. He has to make a declaration. So unfortunately, you know, he's aware of the seriousness of his doings.
I'm going to be arrested.
I don't know yet, fella.
There's a couple of things we need to work through yet, don't we?
I'm guessing he's afraid of being kicked out of the army. A young lad at the start of his military career. He knows he's made a massive error, and he's now very scared.
We'll be going down the line and going to custody, okay? We don't have a choice on that. Just get an update on AS.
The cadet has been arrested for possession of firearms. He won't be going home tonight.
This isn't just a mistake. I'm going to be arrested. I'm going to be kicked out.
It seemed like the end of the world for now, my man, but I promise you it won't be. I promise you it won't be.
The young cadet is just a week away from passing out to become a fully fledged soldier.
It's sad because he's obviously a young lad with some potential. We're not here to give people a hard time, and we're certainly not here to make his life a misery, but he has made a big error, and we have to look into it, and he unfortunately had to be arrested.
Back in London, Paddington is entering the thick of a hot and sweaty evening peak.
1880's cancelled? Since when?
It's just unreal. All the money people are charging.
And there's more pain to come.
It's absolutely, abjectly hopeless.
Paddington is battling through a baking summer evening peak.
Straight through, please. Thank you.
After a day of disruption, which has wrecked its fine-tuned timetable and crewing roster. Those who are managing to find a train to get them home are facing uncomfortable and unpredictable journeys at the end of the hottest day of the year.
Hello.
He reckons about 5 coaches, no air conditioning, and there's no water on the train. You need some water to put on the train.
I've been downstairs twice today. You don't realise how hot it is down there. And with the roof being it's all like glass covered, so it sort of magnifies the heat.
Catering manager Alison has bad news for passengers who are expecting silver service on board the 1815 Plymouth train. The restaurant car has been reassigned for general passenger use.
On a normal night, we'll normally have a restaurant service going to Plymouth. Unfortunately, due to the sheer amount of people, because of the problems we had earlier on, we can't form a restaurant tonight. And everything is full and standing. We've got pregnant people that can't even get a seat at the moment as well.
Passengers that are waiting for the 1825 Great Western service to Radley. We do apologise, this service was cancelled at very short notice.
Well, I hope somebody's got any idea about what's going on.
There's just no information about what to expect.
They're shouting out the time.
I can't hear a word they're saying. And they haven't told us anything about trains and Temple Meads.
Anyone in customer service must be on tough time. Because the annoying thing is there's a lot of answers to questions that people want, like when's my next train to so-and-so or whatever. And if there is no answer, you look stupid. But a lot of times there is no answer.
But why don't you tell us what's happening?
Yeah, number 3.
Boarding now on platform 8.
Paddington still has problems, with drivers and crew not being where they need to be after the day's disruption.
There should be a driver, yeah. Hang on. Base to dispatchers on platform 3. Do you have a driver?
Dispatcher Maz is doing everything he can to clear a backlog.
Control are finding it a bit difficult to locate what driver needs to take out what train. So we don't know if we have the staff available, which is obviously add to the confusion.
They're checking for one now. You should have one there.
Every train as it comes, we try to get rid of it as soon as possible.
But I'm getting the dispatchers ready for you, okay? Number 9.
With one final push, the evening peak is coming to an end.
We're good to go. We've got train manager, we've got driver.
Paddington is through the worst.
Why don't you come with us for a bit of adventure?
But the wave of disruption is now spreading back down the line to Bristol.
Due to the sort of incoming problems coming down from London, the knock-on effect is we're not getting the trains down from London to return to send back. So at the moment, we've had no trains for nearly 2.5, 3 hours to go back towards London.
And onward services to South Wales have also been disrupted by heat-exhausted trains.
Trying to get extra taxis in to get people moving to South Wales at the moment, and we haven't got anything on the rank, so we've ordered 20 in. It's just a matter of waiting for them to turn up now, which is always fun.
Work on the railway is like a game of Tetris, isn't it?
Yeah.
1 hour and they all stack up. Brilliant achievements disappear. It wouldn't be the railway if we didn't have days like this. People love to moan about us, but we do the best we can to help them.
At Paddington, after 12 unrelenting hours in the control room, Graham finally clocks off.
Feel free to enjoy the warmth of my seat. Oh. Hiya, Robert. Oh.
And there's time now to reflect on an unprecedented day of disruption.
What actually happened was the Pigeon earthed the overhead wire somehow. The current found its way into the reinforced steel bar within the concrete, and it was that which caused the concrete to fall down. For about an hour, we had just a queue of trains on the hottest day of the year, so we were in all sorts of issues with not just trying to manage the train service, but the customer comfort on the train themselves.
The young cadet caught with live ammunition didn't come off quite so bad. The BTP let him off without charge, and the army decided to give him a second chance. Paddington Station is back in business. Some passengers may be able to claim compensation for the day's disruption, but there's been a huge cost to the network, train companies, and customers.
This really small incident in terms of a Pigeon, reported striking a bridge and bringing concrete down, it sounds ludicrous, caused 5,193 minutes of delay to customers. It went all the way through Portsmouth, Southampton, went all the way up through to Manchester, Edinburgh, went to York, went through to South Wales, went to Crewe. So yeah, it went pretty much countrywide, to be honest with you, all because of some flying rat.
Track